Imagine standing in the middle of your life and everything you built, your dreams, your comfort, your hope, crumbles before your eyes. The people you trusted betray you. The plans you poured your heart into collapse, and your strength, it feels like it has left you. You are broken. You are tired. You are alone. And in that silence, in that darkness, you wonder, is this the end? But listen carefully, even when the world has turned its back, even when everything you thought you had is gone, you still have Allah. Yes, Him. The one who never leaves, the one whose mercy stretches beyond the skies, the one who knows your pain before you even speak it. There is a power in realizing that when your bank account is zero, when your friends are gone, when doors are closed and hearts are heavy, you are not truly alone. You have a presence that no one can take away, a source of strength no one can shake. And in that presence, even the emptiness of the world becomes a canvas for hope. Because when you have nothing left, you still have Allah. And that is everything. We live in a world that celebrates independence, that glorifies the idea of standing alone, of carrying every burden by yourself, as if asking for help is a weakness. From a young age, we are taught to rely on our own strength, our own resources, our own plans. Be self-made. They say, don't depend on anyone. And so we fight through life believing that if we stumble, it's because we weren't strong enough. We blame ourselves for the failures, the losses, the pain. But the truth is, no one was ever meant to face everything alone. True strength does not lie in independence. It lies in dependence. The right kind of dependence. The kind that turns to Allah when the walls close in, when the storms rage, when there seems to be no way forward. Think about the stories from the lives of the prophets. They were tested in ways that would crush ordinary people. They faced betrayal, loss, hunger, illness, and overwhelming despair. Yet their strength was not in what they had. They often had little or nothing, but in their unwavering connection to Allah. When the Prophet Ayyub lost his wealth, his family, and his health, he did not collapse under the weight of his circumstances. Instead, he turned his heart toward Allah. In his emptiness, he found resilience, and in his suffering, he discovered a source of strength that no human power could give him. It is easy to forget that dependence on Allah is not weakness. Many see turning to Him in prayer, in supplication, in complete surrender, as a last resort, a final hope when everything else fails. But the reality is, this dependence is the ultimate source of strength. It is the difference between despair that consumes the soul and hope that transforms it. When you learn to rely on Allah, when you place your trust fully in Him, you tap into a power that is unshakable. A power that does not falter when the world falters. When life strips you bare, when relationships break, when dreams crumble, when you feel isolated and exhausted, this is your moment to lean in, to truly depend on Allah. This dependence does not make you weak, it makes you alive. It makes you unbreakable. Every tear you shed, every prayer you whisper, every sigh of surrender is a thread connecting you to a strength beyond the material, beyond human limits. It is in this connection that the heart finds courage to rise again, the mind finds clarity, and the soul discovers peace even in chaos. So stop measuring your strength by what you can do alone. Stop believing that being strong means never asking for help. True strength is found when you acknowledge that you cannot do everything on your own, and that there is one who never leaves, never fails, and never abandons. When you place your dependence in Allah, when you trust Him with your life, your struggles, and your dreams, you awaken a power that nothing in this world can touch. That is the strength that carries you through storms, that lifts you from despair, and that transforms nothing into everything. Despair is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. It creeps into your heart slowly, whispering that nothing will ever get better, that hope is gone, that you are alone. It makes every step feel heavier, every breath harder, and every moment longer. In those dark times, it is easy to believe that your pain is permanent, that your struggles define you, and that nothing can change your reality. But despair, as heavy and overwhelming as it feels, is temporary. It is a shadow that passes, a storm that eventually fades. And while the world may offer no solace, one truth remains unchanging: Allah's mercy is eternal. Consider the countless stories of people who faced unimaginable trials and yet found hope when they turned to Allah. There was a woman who had lost everything. Her family had abandoned her. Her health had failed her, and her livelihood had vanished. She felt the weight of the world pressing down on her, suffocating her spirit. Yet, in her darkest hour, she raised her hands and whispered a simple prayer: Allah, I have nothing left. Take me as I am. In that moment of surrender, something miraculous happened. Her heart, once heavy with despair, began to breathe again. Her soul, once clouded with hopelessness, began to see light. The pain did not vanish immediately, but she discovered a strength she had never known, a strength rooted in the eternal presence of Allah, a hope that no loss could steal. The beauty of this truth is that Allah's mercy does not have limits, nor does it depend on our perfection. He is always waiting, always listening, always ready to embrace us in our brokenness. No matter how many mistakes we have made, no matter how far we feel we have fallen, His mercy remains. When we turn to Him, even with trembling hearts, we are met with a love and a compassion that the world cannot give. This is the essence of hope, the understanding that despair is not the end, that every hardship carries the seed of relief, and that every trial is a reminder of Allah's closeness. When we focus only on what is lost, we overlook what is still present. In despair, it is easy to forget the blessings that remain. The breath in your lungs, the heartbeat in your chest, the capacity to pray, the ability to seek forgiveness, the chance to rise again. These are the signs of Allah's mercy, constant reminders that we are never truly abandoned. Every difficulty is temporary, but His presence is eternal. Holding on to this truth transforms the way we see hardship. It does not make the pain disappear, but it gives us the courage to endure it, the patience to move through it, and the faith to believe that relief will come. So when despair whispers that you are alone, remember this: it is fleeting. What is permanent is Allah's mercy, His guidance, and His love for you. No matter how empty your hands feel, how heavy your heart is, or how dark the path seems, you are never without Him. His light is always near, ready to guide you out of the darkness, to lift you from the ashes of your trials, and to fill the emptiness with a hope that cannot be shaken. When everything in life falls away, when the noise of the world fades, and when you are left with nothing but your own thoughts, something remarkable happens. You begin to see clearly. Emptiness has a way of stripping away illusions, of peeling back the layers of distraction and pretense that keep us from understanding what truly matters. It is painful, yes, often unbearably so, but it is also a gift, a rare opportunity to confront the truth of your heart, to recognize your dependence on Allah, and to discover the depth of your own resilience. Life is full of clutter. Obligations, relationships, possessions, achievements. We measure our worth by these things, believing that happiness and security are found in wealth, recognition, or control. But when these things vanish, when the familiar supports crumble, and the comfort we relied on disappears, we are forced to face a profound truth: the soul does not need any of these things to survive. What it needs is connection with Allah, with the purpose He has placed within us, and with the strength that comes from surrendering to Him. Many people fear emptiness because it feels like nothingness, a void where dreams die and hope disappears. But the emptiness is not the end, it is a beginning. In the silence, you can finally hear the whispers of guidance that are drowned out in business. In the stillness, you can recognize the blessings that were always there but unnoticed. The emptiness becomes a teacher, showing you what matters most: patience, gratitude, faith, and trust. It is through hardship, through loss, and through the moments when life seems to have abandoned you, that your soul learns to lean entirely on Allah. The prophets were not shielded from emptiness, they were not immune to trials. They experienced loss, isolation, and hardship that could have broken ordinary hearts. Yet, in those moments, they discovered a clarity that no abundance could provide. When a person is stripped of everything, they are given the chance to write a new story, to rebuild from the foundation of their soul, rather than the superficial constructs of the world. In the emptiness, they learn to value what is eternal over what is temporary, to seek what is true over what is fleeting, and to place their trust in Allah above all else. When you face emptiness, remember, it is not a punishment, nor is it a sign of failure. It is a gift that forces you to confront your heart, to reassess your priorities, and to deepen your relationship with Allah. It teaches resilience because when nothing supports you except your faith, you learn to rely on a power that cannot be shaken. It teaches gratitude because even in the void, there are blessings that endure. And it teaches purpose because it reveals that life is not about possession, status, or comfort, but about connection with the One who is eternal. Emptiness is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. It is the space where Allah speaks to the heart, where your soul awakens, and where the lessons of life become crystal clear. When you have nothing left, it is in this emptiness that you discover everything. It is here that you realize that your strength, your peace, and your hope do not come from the world, they come from Him. The world will fail you. People will disappoint you. Money will run out. Opportunities will vanish. Titles, positions, and possessions, all the things we often cling to as proof of our worth, can disappear in an instant. And when they do, it is natural to feel powerless, vulnerable, and alone. Yet in the midst of this chaos, there is one truth that remains unshaken. The connection you build with Allah is your ultimate power. It is a power that cannot be stolen, a fortress that cannot be breached, and a source of strength that no loss can touch. When you realize this, everything changes. Your perspective shifts from fear to faith, from desperation to patience, from anxiety to peace. The connection with Allah does not remove the storms of life, but it gives you the courage to face them. It does not erase the pain, but it gives your heart a sanctuary where sorrow cannot consume you. It does not guarantee ease, but it guarantees presence. His presence in your life, every second, every breath, every heartbeat. This is the power that the richest, strongest, and most influential people on earth cannot buy or create. It is the power of the Creator Himself residing in your soul, guiding you, sustaining you, and holding you when everything else has let go. Think of the companions of the Prophet who faced exile, hunger, persecution, and loss. They left behind families, homes, and wealth for the sake of their faith, and yet their hearts were full. They had nothing in the material sense, but they had everything in the spiritual sense. Their connection with Allah made them resilient in battle, patient in suffering, and joyful in hardship. They understood that when the heart is anchored in Allah, external circumstances lose their ability to destroy your peace. They had discovered the ultimate power, the unshakable strength that comes from knowing you are never truly alone. Connection with Allah is not just a shield, it is a source of action. When you pray, when you seek guidance, when you trust in His plan, you align yourself with a force greater than yourself. Your steps gain direction, your decisions gain clarity, and your heart gains courage. Even when the world tells you, you cannot, Allah tells you, I am with you. That reassurance, that divine presence is stronger than any army, richer than any fortune, and more comforting than any human embrace. So when you feel empty, powerless, or forgotten, remember that your ultimate strength lies not in what you have or who supports you, but in your connection with Allah. Cultivate it, nurture it, and make it your refuge. This bond will carry you through every trial, light your way through the darkest nights, and give you a peace that no loss, no heartbreak, and no hardship can ever take away. When the world strips you bare, this connection is the treasure that remains, the anchor that holds, and the power that transforms despair into hope, weakness into courage, and emptiness into abundance. So today, if you are standing in the ruins of your life, feeling broken, abandoned, and empty, remember this: even when the world has taken everything from you, even when you feel like there is nothing left, you still have Allah. He is closer than your heartbeat, stronger than your fears, and more faithful than anyone you have ever trusted. Your strength does not come from what you own, who is by your side, or what the world gives you. It comes from Him. Every hardship you face, every loss you endure, and every moment of despair is an invitation to turn back to Him, to find your courage in surrender, your hope in His mercy, and your peace in His presence. When you have nothing left, you have everything, because Allah is with you. Hold on to that truth, live by it, and let it guide every step you take. No matter how dark it feels right now, no matter how heavy your heart is, remember you are never alone. The emptiness you feel is temporary, the pain you endure is temporary, but His mercy, His guidance, and His love for you are eternal. Rise with that knowledge. Pray with that certainty. Trust with that conviction. And watch as your life, even from nothing, becomes full again through the power of Allah. If this message touched your heart, inspired you, or gave you hope today, make sure to share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a reminder of hope, faith, and strength. Because when life takes everything, Allah is still everything, and He is always with you.